Hey, thank you very much. Thank you, JD, for organizing this. Give it up for JD,
everybody. Give it up for everybody.
Together.
This is nice. What's going on? How's everyone doing? Cool. Who has heard of her podcast?
Anyone here?
Oh,
no, you
nice.
really, dude. You guys decided to waste your Saturday hanging out with us. That was a mistake. I'll tell you that. Shout out to the two white people in the back. Really confused. How's it going?
Why did she put the sunglasses on?
I don't know why.
Why did she just do that?
Maybe she's famous. I have no idea.
Well,
You know? Yeah, this is not a business association or anything like that. We're gonna talk. One guy laughed. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are we gonna talk about today, Fumi?
Today we're gonna talk about how to be funny while being Asian.
Very difficult.
Very difficult to be funny while
we
you're
can't
Asian.
be funny. You
A
know,
lot of barriers.
a lot
of
I
barriers.
had to have many surgeries to be funny.
Yeah. Because we just, I mean, I'm sure you guys are comedy fans. I think comedy to Asian Americans is fairly a new thing. And I mean that from an entertainer standpoint, like there aren't a lot of us out there, but it's changing, it's slowly changing, there's more and more coming out. And also from an audience perspective, I don't know how many live comedy shows you guys have been to, you know? And also, like when you see an Asian comedian on stage, I feel like the first reaction for an Asian person is like, what is he doing? Like it's not support.
The first reaction is, oh, awesome. Oh no. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's my reaction.
Because you're so afraid that he or she's gonna be talking about like how we're good at math and you know.
And then like the duck hanging in the window.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The duck.
I
That's
get it.
right.
Yeah.
And so. And I almost don't want to hate on those people because for a while, like I don't know if you guys remember comedians like Dat Fan, like all the people who
I love that.
like even Bobby Lee, like back in like the '90s,
Yeah.
like they kind of paved the way for us, you know. And back then, like you had to talk about all those stereotypical things because the audience, which wasn't you guys, it was just like old white dudes. They don't get it, right? They only get stuff about math
about
again.
the duck.
A lot of talking math.
Talk about the
right?
duck, you know? Yeah.
So we just wanted to kind of have a little discussion about where Asian comedy is going and how to do it quote unquote properly.
Yes. Don't do it any other way, only our way. Yeah.
Should we play this clip?
Yeah, we're gonna show you guys a clip, and it's one of Fumi's clips, and it starts off with a premise which I think a lot of people will recognize, and I think he takes it in a funny way. I hope. So.
Cool. If you guys don't laugh, I'm gonna leave. Okay?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, just the first like 40 seconds or so.
It's a Japanese name, but I actually grew up in the Midwest. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And I don't know if you guys have been out to the Midwest, and we don't have a lot of minorities out there. So when we're growing up, I would have like really good conversations with my classmates. Like one time I asked a squirrel out, and she was like, hey, listen, don't take this personally, but I'm just not gonna say Asian guys. And I was sitting there like, but dude, man, like, I am the only Asian guy you know. This feels extremely personal. What are you talking about right now? She just kept going. She's like, I don't know, Asian guys are so short, they're kind of skinny, and then it's always like, Fumi. Respect me! I think I was meant to say, you are not into Asian guy. And that is me. Hey.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. They laughed.
They laugh.
Oh my God,
You know
I'm so nervous.
what's nice about that clip is it has laughter built in.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter if you didn't laugh.
Foolproof.
Yeah, fantastic.
I don't need your approval.
Yeah, exactly. I like that joke a lot because I didn't grow up in Ohio. I grew up in California, and so yeah. So you know, if they didn't like me, it was definitely racist. But for you, it's different. You grew up in Ohio.
I grew up in Ohio, and I think, there's a lot of Asian people. I'm sure you grew up in communities that weren't predominantly Asian, and that's something you hear a lot. Even if you're a girl, I'm sure you've heard people say, you know, I don't date Asian guys. That's a very common thing.
Yeah.
And I think, like, what in comedy what we call like the hack angle, or like the easier, more obvious angle, would be to like kind of lean in on that stereotype of like Asian guys being like feminine.
Right.
You know, so if I said like, oh, I'm gonna go home and like have sex with my anime pillow.
Yeah.
That's like a very
How dare you talk to me about me like that?
that's like a very like hack angle, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to take jokes somewhere else because I'm not confident. Like I think I'm hot, so I want to. You know, you guys don't agree. I think I'm hot, so thank you. We got some hotties in the crowd. That's great. So that joke is coming from like a place of confidence. So it's like I'm questioning her logic. I'm almost playing lawyer for myself, for her to be her boyfriend.
Yeah, you
know?
have a lot of confidence for someone your size.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm 110 pounds.
You're like a little
and,
Maltese dog. You know,
yes.
it's kind of fierce.
Yeah, I like it though. This is who I am. You can't
Yeah.
change me.
I think it's great. So, and I think that kind of leads into some of the stuff we try to do. What we try to call Asian jokes 2.0.
2.0. You heard it
Yeah,
first.
which is like you take a premise which a lot of people have heard before, even ones about like, you know, oh, I got to be a doctor or something like that, and then we always try to go a little bit deeper than the obvious joke. As a stand-up, your job is to not take the easy way out. I think that's a good way to think about it. It's like hack jokes are the easy way out. What's the you know, you think of the first thing you think about when you think Asian comedy, and then you throw that away, and then you try to get into what is it about your personal life, which is like sad and therefore funny, you know? So that's really what it is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of premises that, like you said with the doctor thing, there's a lot of like premises that we can still do. You know, like on the podcast, we talk a bunch of stuff about Asian culture, and if you just dig a little deeper, there's a lot of funny stuff in there. You know?
Absolutely. I mean, we talk all the time about Asian moms.
Asian moms.
Because Asian moms are hysterical.
Yeah.
They
Those
are
the meanest people in the
so
world.
mean, so terrifying.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about how my parents. I'm like in my late 30s, and if you haven't gone to grad school yet, your parents will still try to get you to go to grad school. Because the way I think about it is, you know, getting your son or daughter to go to grad school in their 30s is like that's the Asian mom half-court shot. You know, just as the buzzer is about to go, they're like, one more chance to be a good doctor. You know? Like, it's not gonna go in. But they're like, wait, I gotta shoot my shot, you know? Which is, you know, but I think too, there's a lot of jokes that Asian people are for Asian people.
Yes.
You know, boba jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like those are not for white people. They kind of
Right.
are now, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing because like in 2019 and a little bit last year too, like there are Asian comedy rooms, like rooms like this,
Yes.
rooms like Asian as Fuck, rooms like Unwashed Comedy. Our show too, Hack City,
Hack
is like,
City,
it's like
February
predominantly
27th, yeah.
come out February 27th.
Yep.
You know, they're predominantly Asian people, and they're like Asian Americans. Some of them don't even speak Chinese or whatever their mother tongue should be, or whatever, right? So it's interesting to do jokes for those people because I don't have to explain myself, so I can just go right into that fermented soybean joke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
people just get it right away.
Yeah.
Right?
I wish Drake had a fermented soybean song.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Mm.
That's when we know when the Asians have made it. Is when rappers start talking about it. You know?
Yeah,
She made me go to SAT class.
Yeah, right now they're still at like a very superficial Chun-Li level.
Yes, like chopsticks and hair.
Yeah, that's very bad.
yeah.
We want to get down to the Kumon. Get down
Yes.
to the Kumon. That's what we about.
Okay, I think
How much time do we got?
I think of one more minute.
4 minutes? Is there?
I don't know. Do you have any questions?
Any questions or anything like that?
We'll take one question.
One single question.
Yes.
That's the spirit, everybody.
Wow.
One person. Yes.
I don't have a question. I just think you guys are awesome.
Oh,
that's so sweet.
I'm gonna give you a sticker later. Don't move.
Oh yeah, get that. Don't move.
Because I don't know where you are exactly. It's just a voice. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think that's
Well,
fine. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Follow
much.
us, Asian on Asian podcast.